Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. So when it comes to going to university, obviously this is a huge thing in most people's lives, and obviously they're bound to have lots of questions about the experience, which uni to go to, which course to pick, how they're going to make friends, where they're going to live. There's all these questions that you guys have, and in today's video I'm going to start answering some of those.
Baby, shampoo and come and save me. I've been missing Lady Luck ever since she started hating. I've been waking up.
So I have a list of 10 questions on my phone which I'm going to attempt to answer in this video, which will hopefully put your mind more at ease for when you come to decide about university. Without further hesitation, let's jump straight into question 1, which is, why would I pick a Swansea University over other universities? And that's a great question, and I'm probably the best person to be answering this because I absolutely love Swansea University, but also I did go to another university before, so I think it gives me quite a balanced view, I guess. I've got, you know, the comparison of two different ones, and I won't mention which one, but I went to another one a few years ago, and all I can say is the support that Swansea University offers is unrivaled. I just feel so at home at Swansea Uni. I've been so blessed with the most dedicated and supportive lecturers I've ever met, and that's probably one of the biggest reasons I think Swansea Uni is just up there for student satisfaction and support. I really think that obviously when you're paying for a uni experience, you want the support there and you want the confidence in your tutors and your lecturers, and I really do think that Swansea Uni puts their students above anything else. They will do whatever it takes to ensure their students are happy, and whether that's all the extra services they have available free of charge to the students, such as a wellbeing team, to the learning support team, to lecturers just answering their emails so promptly. My lecturers will answer them till about 10 o'clock at night, and on weekends, which is just unheard of. It's just so great. It's exactly what you need when you're stressed about a coursework or an assignment and your lecturers are just on the other end of an email. So I think that is the #1 reason I would pick Swansea University. The second thing is the place. It's just an amazing place. We have beautiful beaches on our doorstep, and if you've seen some of my other videos, you've seen all the things I do outside and all the things I love about Swansea, but I really do think the environment is so conducive to learning. You can go for adventures and explore the city, and the city's big enough for it to be a city and there to be new and fun things to do, but it's small enough to feel like a town where you know everyone and you can navigate your way through easily enough. So that's my kind of 2 big reasons why I think you should pick Swansea Uni over other unis, because it's just such a fun and supportive university while also guaranteeing you're going to have the best student experience and the best support, and I could go on for days about why I think you should pick Swansea University. So that's the first question as to why you should pick Swansea University over other universities. So the second question is, what campus will I be studying on? And that's a really great question too. If you don't know, we have 2 campuses at Swansea University. We have Singleton and we have Bay. Bay is traditionally more maths and engineering courses, while Singleton is more arts, humanities and sciences. So that's a general overview, but if I was you, I'd type your course into the Swansea Uni website to find out exactly what campus you will be studying on. So the third question, and probably the most asked question, is about living and where you're going to live, which campus you'll live on, how you meet your housemates, who you pick to live with, all of those kind of questions. And I will personally be making a video about this very soon, about halls versus house, but for now I will give you more of a general idea of, you know, where you're going to live. For first year, we recommend you to live on campus, and usually we recommend for you to live on the campus you're studying on, simply because it's just quicker to get to lectures in the morning, because it's just so efficient to roll out of bed and straight into a lecture. So if you're studying on Singleton, it's best to probably live on Singleton. However, that's just generally advised. There's no strict rule. You can obviously live on Singleton and study on Bay, and likewise the other way around too. Obviously, if you love the Bay facilities and study on Singleton, that is fine. It's about a 10 to 15 minute bus or car ride between them, so there are no issues there. As for picking your housemate, in first year, if you're living in halls, you don't necessarily pick your housemates unless there's one person you desperately want to live with. You don't pick them, but the university look at all your information, your age, the course, your interests, and they try and pair you with other like-minded people. So for me, I'm a mature student, so I was put with people who were over 18, and for me that was so nice. It meant we had more in common and we all got on really well. First year, you won't necessarily pick your housemates. However, lots of people do find that when they're placed with people in halls, they then become such good friends with them that they live with them for the next 2, 3, 4 years. However, other people make friends in all sorts of different ways. They make them through their course and through sports and societies, so they might choose to live with those too. And also, if you come to your 2nd or 3rd year it and realise that you don't know who you want to live with, you can always put a post on the many Facebook groups in the area about looking for housemates, and you could go for a coffee beforehand and meet the people you're going to live with. So there's no kind of hard and fast rule for who you live with or where you live. It's more just down to personal preference and who you get on with. Number 4 leads on nicely from this question, and that is, how will I meet friends? And just as I previously said, you will meet loads and loads and loads of friends. It's a campus university, so it's a really good social place to meet new people. We have loads of sports clubs and societies which you can dive into if you're interested in something, and you can make friends that way. You can make friends through your course, you can make friends by joining community chats in the area. There's so many different ways you can make friends, but trust me, even if you're the most worried about this, you will make friends. I promise you, whether it's people in your course, in your house, in your halls, you will make some friends, and they will be friends for life. I've met some fantastic friends at university, friends I never thought I'd make. You will make friends and it'll be great. So number 5 is what's to do in Swansea. Like I said back in question 1, I do a lot of outdoor things in Swansea, such as surfing and climbing, and for me it is just the ideal place to live for an outdoorsy person. However, if you're not an outdoorsy person, that's fine. There's tons of indoor things to do too. We've got a really nice shopping centre, and we have restaurants and lots of fun things to do like that too. And number 6 is, can I bring my car to university? And this one's a kind of tricky one, because in first year there's no parking on campus. You want to avoid bringing your car in first year especially, and it's best to kind of get dropped off by your parents if you can, or a friend or family. So I'd say no in first year. You don't need one in first year. If you do need to go to the Gower with the surf club, they run transport, and if you need to go into town, there's buses. If you need to go to Bay Campus, there's buses. You can walk from campus into town really easily. So I just wouldn't say you need one in first year. If in second or third or fourth year you want one, that is fine. There is limited parking around the city, but you can definitely get parked if you want to bring your car, and a lot of student houses come with 1 or 2 permit spaces too. Second or third year, feel free to bring your car, but I know loads of people who still don't bring a car and get on just fine. It's nice if one person in the house has a car for shopping trips, but the bus works fine, cycling works fine, walking works fine. That is the answer to that question. Number 7. Are there any sports clubs and societies? I get asked all the time, is there a volleyball club? Is there a football club? Is there a surf club? Is there a reading club? Is there a games club? Is there... what are some other ones I've had? An equestrian club? Is there a swimming club? There is literally, so picture any activity and you can pretty much guarantee there is going to be a sports club or society for that. And that is such a nice thing at Swansea University. There's hundreds of clubs, and at the beginning of the term we have a freshers fair, and you can go round all the stalls and talk to people with the same interests as you, and you can sign up and join these different sports clubs. And for me, that was probably one of the highlights of my university experience at Swansea, is joining the clubs, because I joined Snow Riders, I joined skate, I joined surf, I joined sailing. I just went all out, and I'd say it is super rewarding. You've just got to put yourself out there and, you know, be brave, go to the meets even if you don't know anyone, and you will make friends. And it's so great to have an outlet when you're studying, so I definitely recommend joining sports clubs or societies. And even if you're not interested in it before coming to university, sit down and think, I'd really like to learn that, and just go along for the taster. Often the tasters are free, so I'd really recommend for you definitely just to throw yourself into the university experience and join the sports and societies. Number 8, what is the nightlife like in Swansea? And that is a really good question, and I'm slightly older and I've had my fair share of going out in many different cities, and I'd say Swansea is my favourite. Surprise, surprise. Because what we have is on Singleton campus, we've got a nightclub called Tutors, which is the union club, and it's discounted entry, discounted drink, and that is every Friday night. That is so much fun. It's the heart of the campus, and I'd really recommend checking that out. And if not, you go into town, and there are many different clubs in Wine Street, which is the main street in Swansea. I'd say there's a bar, pub and club for everyone's taste. If you want something more chilled, there's pubs. If you want something to watch the sport, there's bars. And if you want something crazy and dancey, there's clubs. And also in the city is a Sin City, which is a really popular club amongst students because of its cheap prices and cheap drinks. So there are definitely tons of clubs and bars and pubs for students, and it's one of those nice things that if you did want to go to a different one every night, you can. If you wanted to stay at the same one and get, you know, to know all the staff, then you can also do that. So that is what the nightlife is like in Swansea. And question 9 is about COVID and how it has affected the university experience, and whether, if you're looking to apply this year, whether you should or whether you should wait until COVID is gone. That's such a tricky question, but for me, I'd just say just apply. You've got 3 years years, and within 3 years, hopefully COVID will have died down and you will have a normal university experience. I definitely don't think my university has been ruined by COVID. I think I had 2 great years, and even this year has been really fun. The university has adapted really well and helped us still have a very kind of normal and supportive university experience. Obviously, we don't have a lot of the things like the socialising, but I would say that a lot of the sports clubs and societies have worked so hard to make things as normal as possible, and whether that's Zoom quizzes or meet and greets online, I would just say go for it, because there's no time like the present just to say yes and to meet people, and you will still meet people and things will start getting better, I promise. So if you're considering coming to uni but are worried about COVID, I just wouldn't worry about that now. I think things will only get better, and when we get to go back on campus, obviously there'll still be some regulations put in place, but I don't think it will ruin the experience by any means. It will just be different, and that's fine. Different is okay. So if you're worried about COVID, don't be. My online teaching experience has been beyond anything I could have imagined. It has actually been so thorough, really thorough. It's been so good, and I wouldn't say I felt any more stressed about my assessments than before, and if anything, I think the university have done a fantastic job in adapting the teaching to online. It's as thorough, if not more thorough, than the lectures, and I think it's been absolutely fantastic, if I'm honest. And I couldn't even imagine how hard it has been to, you know, coordinate all this and come up with a whole new system of teaching, but they have done it so well, and they've kept the students informed all throughout, and I think that's a really nice quality of a university. So that's how COVID has affected it, not badly at all, and it will get better. So I'd definitely say if you're worried about clicking that accept button, just go for it, you know, just go for it. You won't regret it. And the last question that I get asked so much is, what shall I study? I really want to come to the university, but I have no idea what to study. And I feel ya. I'm one of those people who kind of am interested in everything, and if it was my choice, I'd come to university and I'd study 10 degrees, but obviously that isn't realistic. And I started doing graphic design a few years ago, and now I'm doing criminology, which is completely different. But I'd definitely say just do something you love. Honestly, just do something you love and that interests you, because you'll be spending all of 3 or 4 years studying it, and you don't want to pick something because you know you want a certain job. You want to pick something because you love it. Honestly, pick what you love. You will never ever regret doing that. That is literally the easiest thing I can tell you, is just do something you love, because it will make everything about university easier. You won't dread doing the coursework, you'll happily engage with lecturers about the content, and you'll happily pick up the textbooks and read all evening, because honestly, if you pick something you love, you'll never not want to study it. So I think that has covered pretty much the top 10 frequently asked questions we get asked all the time at Swansea University. I really hope this has made things a bit clearer to you. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to email the university, because they are on the other end happily to answer any questions, however big or small you may have. So that's all from me for now. See you soon.